Parents, when you are now an adult, the best they can give to you is an advice, no longer a command.
Yes.
You have to find a way to respect them, that even when they give you a counsel that you don't find okay for your own family, you can still be respectful but firm. But the key is that never be disrespectful.
You owe them respect.
Yes.
And let me tell you, no matter what your spouse tells you about their parent, it should never be a yardstick for you to look down on them. Bible commands us to honor. Hi everyone, welcome back again to another episode of our podcast, Relationship and Marriage Podcast with the BAs. How are you doing? And I hope you were blessed by the last episode. We're here again today, and today we'll be sharing something very, very amazing. I'm here with my wonderful husband, and we'll be sharing something amazing with you all. What's this title?
Yeah, very practical topic. We're going to talk about my spouse or my in-laws. You know, a very, very practical topic that we're going to deal with today. So I want you to relax, bring out your popcorn, bring your notebooks if you don't mind. It's going to be a very instructive session. All right?
Yes.
So are you ready?
Yeah, and please, before we go ahead, do well to like.
Yes.
Drop a comment.
Yes.
Subscribe and share this video with other people.
Absolutely.
The best way to say thank you for the sound word you get from this podcast is by responding in this manner.
Yeah.
You know, you can like the video. It increases the algorithm of how YouTube shares it with other people.
Yeah.
You can drop a comment. Let us hear your feedback. And if you have questions or what you want us to, share even in subsequent podcasts, we are open to that. And then do well to subscribe as well. What have you been doing? Why haven't you subscribed?
I know, right?
Yes. Join our subscriber and turn your notification on so that anytime a video comes in, you're the first to be notified.
Yeah.
All right.
So, ready to start?
Yeah.
Whenever anyone hears about in-law, let me just be honest. The first name that comes to my head is Patience Ozoko. If you are familiar with Nollywood, Nigerian movie industry, then you will know that in-laws are a big part of Nigerian movies.
Yeah.
And whether it is with permission or without permission, Nollywood has formed a perception about in-laws to everyone. So you see people who they don't want to marry someone whose parents are still alive.
Very true.
Because there's just a notion within them that the problem in a marriage is always from the in-laws.
Yeah. And let me say this for women. I mean, it's more on the women's side because some women feel, my mother-in-law, I don't want to share my husband with my mother-in-law. I don't want my mother-in-law to always be in her business. And it's important who you listen to or what you allow shape your perspective about marriage.
Absolutely.
Subconsciously, a lot of younger ladies started wishing and even praying that their mother-in-laws will be dead before they get married. Please, renew your mind.
Yeah.
Renew your mind.
You're in the right place. If that's you, because honestly speaking, there's a way that the media forms a narrative in you that you actually do not know that you have that narrative inside of you. True. Until you get to that crossroad in your decision, and then you realize that the reason why you don't want to move forward with that relationship or that marriage is because you are afraid that the in-laws will be a problem down the stretch, right? And so if you're that person and right now you're thinking about, you're like, actually, yeah, it's like, I've always had these fears about in-laws. They're not going to like me. They're going to be problematic. They're going to come to the house. They're going to be in everywhere, especially for people who legitimately have been in a marriage or they've lived with people whom their in-laws were a little bit problematic. Yeah. And then you just say, Nollywood was right. Right? Maybe a neighbor that, for example, they didn't have, child that's, after the wedding and then the in-laws, because actually, I've seen those situations where there was one that the woman came from the village with a chicken and said, if this chicken lays eggs before you get it was that bad that if it was a goat that we bought, They'll be everywhere. And there are even some that the mother-in-law, the mother of the man, is accusing the woman, why are you only having female children?
Yeah.
How can't you give me a male boy? And then we're like, hey, she's not the one responsible, but they don't care.
Yeah.
You should know how to position yourself to have a male child. They're like, hey.
Women don't suffer.
So that fear can be actually transferred into someone. And then the person is scared of getting into a relationship or marriage where their in-laws are still actively a part of their spouse's life.
Yeah.
So we hope that this podcast will help demystify, the role of your spouse's parents in your own marriage. All right?
Yeah. And the first thing we'd like to say is that there are good in-laws.
Oh, yeah.
There are good in-laws. Don't go into marriage with the perception of, I'm going to build a defense system. I'm not going to allow my in-laws into our life. Don't go into marriage with that mindset. There are still good in-laws.
Yes.
Look at the Bible, for example. Jethro was Moses' father-in-law. And Jethro played a strategic role in Moses' life. When he was leading the children of Israel and he was doing it all alone, he was a one-man do-it-all kind of leader. It was Jethro that stepped in and said, you're going to kill yourself if you continue to go this way. Why not do it this way? An in-law gave a prophet, a national prophet, a counsel, and it was documented in the Bible.
Absolutely.
And it's a strategy we still use till today.
Absolutely.
So you can't outrightly say, all in-laws are bad. They just want to customize their son to themselves or their daughters to themselves. Let your heart be open. And if you're a single person, pray that the Lord will give you the heart of your in-laws, that God will give you a place in their hearts to see you not just as a daughter-in-law, a son-in-law, but as their own child.
Yeah.
It's a game changer, I tell you. But if you are already married, I also want you to have a better perspective about your spouse's parents. They are still good in-laws.
Yep.
Another example
is Naomi. Naomi in the Bible actually was a good in-law to Ruth.
Yeah.
For the fact that Ruth lost her husband, right? The husband died, and yet she felt so compelled to go with her mother-in-law and even made statement that is famously used, like, your people will be my people, your God shall be my God. Where you go, I will go. Where you are buried, I will bury. Something like that, right? It tells you that Naomi was an exceptional mother-in-law to Ruth. Yeah. So that's another example of a good mother-in-law. So it's not all bad. It's not all bad. There are good mother-in-laws. We're using mother-in-laws, but in-laws.
Yeah.
They are good. Jethro was a father-in-law. So now we have Naomi that is also a good mother-in-law. So in-laws can be great, no doubt. But apart from great in-laws, even in the Bible, there were also terrible in-laws.
Bad people.
At least one.
There's Laban. Laban, changed the wages of Jacob 10 times. What a man.
If Laban had his way, Jacob would have married all 7 of his daughters. And be 60 years.
And you said, you work for this one 7 years, you work for this one 7 years. Because he knew, Bible says he knew that he was blessed because of Jacob. So he would have done anything to keep the guy for as long as he could. That was why he changed Rachel to Leah. Because if he had married Rachel, he would have probably decided to go. But it was like, what way can I use to manipulate this guy and keep him for as long as I want? Yeah. So there are very, very bad in-laws as well. People that like their opportunities, they can take advantage of you. They want to control your marriage. They want to tell you what to do. They are bad in-laws.
Another bad in-law in the Bible is King Saul, Saul of Kish. Yeah. Hey, that guy. I mean, we all know Saul. He was the first king, favored of the Lord. A lot of things were resting on his shoulder. But I don't know how to say this that it will not be too... Think about it. The bride price that he requested of David... He said, go and get me 100
Was it 100 or 200 foreskins?
I don't know the amount now. You can check. Foreskins of Philistines. You know what foreskins are? It means you have to kill them, or maybe not kill them, circumcise them and bring the foreskin of matured men. What is he going to do with the foreskins? His goal was that in the attempt of David trying to get the foreskins, he'll be killed. And when David succeeded,
200
it was
foreskins.
200 foreskins. Hey.
Yeah. 200 foreskins. Those are 200 humans.
Yeah, that's my bride. That lady must be something else. So you can imagine now, if you want to put that in relation to today's context.
There are some families that will say bride price is 10 million. Bride price is 100 million. Abba.
You need to sew clothes for her primary school students, sew clothes for her secondary school. She was part of the football team in primary school.
Yeah.
There are so many things that people lay burden on just the potential spouse that sometimes we're like, come on, Saul.
Honestly, it's just to get married. You're not selling a child.
Exactly.
You're not selling a child.
Exactly.
Ridiculous. I mean, there are many men, good intention, great men, that are still single, not because they want to be, but because the demands that the in-laws are placing on them, they are too ridiculous. I don't want to mention some tribes just so that it doesn't cause a stir, but please.
It can be very bad.
It can, things can be better.
It can be very bad.
Yes, we're not against, practicing the traditions of your place, but don't make life uncomfortable for people. Don't.
We've seen several scenarios, people that love each other, and then the demands from the in-law is flat out unreasonable. It's just unreasonable. Like, this doesn't make sense. Why do you want to subject these people to this?
They're just starting like, think of their life after the wedding.
Some people borrow so much for just a day, a wedding day. We need 5 cows. We need 20 goats. We need
in the name of bride price
50 packs of chicken. I'm like, do you want? If the wedding doesn't hold that day, the people will find a way to go eat.
Yeah, true.
But they are putting so much pressure on a young couple that are just starting out in life.
Yeah.
Right? This thing should be negotiable based on the level of the people. Listen, it is the simple truth. Don't be like King Saul that will want to kill your potential son-in-law or daughter-in-law because you want to satisfy a personal ego. Some people, it's the prestige of some other family did that. I also want to show that my in-law also is well-to-do. And so you make so many demands. There's a scenario that I heard, I think it was from my mom, where this tribe in Nigeria, the Eastern tribe, they're called the Igbos, right? So there's a particular place in the Igbos that actually their ladies are known to not be married early.
Wow.
Because people just cannot satisfy every requirement.
Wow.
It's just and then the ladies, if a lady marries early, she's in her 36, 37.
Wow.
They're always above 40 and above, 40 and above, 40 and above. And most of the ladies, they do what it's called a Abuja wedding. Where you just go, your parents does not know you're already married.
Oh, wow.
It was that bad. That's how ladies were getting married. They did it because they knew that they're going to remain there forever. No man is able to foot all the bill. One man loved the lady then. And then the requirement was just too much. He was doing and doing and doing and doing, and he had to sew uniform for all the ladies' friends and then the family members, and it was just too much. When the wedding was done, the man looked at the lady and said, "Your parents have sold you. You will never see them again." It was that bad. The man felt used to the point that he made that drastic decision. And I heard that the lady said, "I understand." Because it was that bad. Saul was a bad. We're not saying that's
We're not
wrong.
Saying that is good.
That's wrong.
Yeah.
We are going to talk about how to relate with your in-laws, but we're just saying that don't be like King Saul that will make such heavy demands on a potential, son-in-law. And now, apart from that, King Saul also wanted to kill his son-in-law at certain points. I remember when David, before he became a son-in-law, David was actually playing and everything, and then he wanted to kill him with a spear. And even after David became anointed and all, he was pursuing David. You get my point? He pursued David to caves, to different places. He wanted to kill. So that's not a good father-in-law.
Yes, but as much as they are good and bad in-laws, it is also good to know that your in-laws are a strategic part of your family. You are not just marrying your spouse. you are also marrying the family. It's good you know this. You are, because there will be occasions where you have to do things together, or maybe they'll come around to take care of baby.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll come around to celebrate something with you, or someone of your in-laws have to live with you. It is best that at the beginning of your relationship, or before you go into marriage, you and your spouse decide on your stance about in-laws.
Yeah.
Don't get into it and start saying, oh, you can't treat my mother that way. You can't treat. Make sure you have this conversation at the dating phase. Make sure these are things you talk about before you get into the marriage. How far, what kind of boundaries are we creating, with our parents? How far can our parents go?
Yeah.
How far can they, encourage, counsel, or even instruct us in marriage? To what extent? Because these things are very important. And please, before you get married, know all the traditional rights that are expected. There are things they will not tell you until you enter the marriage. They will not say, you have to go and bow to one idol worshiper, one idol in their village. It's compulsory that all the women that marry to this family, they have to do this. All the men, please ask the right questions. You are not just marrying your spouse, you are also marrying the family.
Absolutely. And what you said at the beginning of this podcast is very important. Don't go into marriage with the mindset of my in-law is going to be problematic.
Sure.
If you go with that mindset, you will interpret every of their actions through that lens.
Sure.
And they can't pass that test.
Yes.
Because you already have a lens over your view of them, they will helplessly fail.
Sure.
Anything they do, you will interpret it as a bad in-law, bad in-law, bad. If they make a suggestion, you will not want to. There's just a part of it that want to fight them also to say, this is my marriage. So don't go into marriage with that mindset. Renew your mindset and say, listen, if they were able to raise a person good enough that you want to marry that person, it means that there are great qualities in them to be a father or a mother.
Sure.
Do you get my point?
Sure.
Now, it is true that some people, they don't have good relationship with their own parents.
Sure.
Nonetheless, go into that marriage with a mindset that, listen, I'm going to have a blank slate for these people.
Yeah.
I'm going to allow them to draw on the canvas of this blank slate.
Yeah.
I'm going to treat them the way they present themselves. I'm not going to judge them with their past or what they've... You get my point, right?
Yeah.
But it is healthy that you go with just a healthy mindset.
True.
Healthy mindset. Now, having said that, let us talk about how you can deal with your... Not the word deal is how you relate with in-laws. The first thing is, please respect them.
Yeah.
Respect them.
Yeah.
Respect them. It is true that, there's one of the video that went very viral, right? I think it's your most viral video yet that talked about when the Bible says, children, obey your parents in the Lord.
Yeah.
Then it now says, honor your father and your mother. We're going to talk about the part of honor your father and your mother. But then you made in that statement that parents, when you are now an adult, the best they can give to you is an advice, no longer a command.
Yes.
So you have to find a way to respect them, that even when they give you a counsel that you don't find okay for your own family, you can still be respectful but firm.
Very true.
But the key is that never be disrespectful to the people. Another thing is this. Sometimes you talk with your spouse and then your spouse tells you something that their parents or his siblings are doing that is wrong, right? Mm-hmm. The fact that they tell you a secret about their parents and something that they're doing that is wrong does not mean it gives you the legal right to disrespect them.
Actually, yeah.
They may forgive their spouse, but they won't forgive you for... It never goes well if you disrespect your spouse's parents.
Very true.
It never goes well.
Yeah.
It never goes well. So the fact that you know something about them still creates in your heart a space for respect.
Very, very true. Very, very true. It's not in your place to disrespect your spouse for what you know, and your spouse's parent for what you know about them.
Yeah.
I'll use an example. For example, Joyce Meyer. Dave Meyer married Joyce Meyer, and I know a lot of you know the story, how her father abused her from when she was young for several years, and she had to deal with the trauma, and God told this man to marry her, and then he obeyed, and towards the latter part of their parents' life, they were actively a part of it. She said there was a time God even told her to buy a house for her parents, get them the care they need. And she was like, God, despite what this man has put me through, said even her mom knew that her dad was abusing her and never took a step to, get her the help she needed. So it was like they both knew what they were doing, and but despite that, her and her husband put her, heads together, still loved them to death, supported them, and God even used her to lead them to Christ. So you can't say, now imagine Dave Mayer saying, because of what your father has done, he does not deserve anything from our family, he does not deserve any financial support, he doesn't. No matter what you know about your in-law, don't treat them based on the knowledge you have. You owe them respect for life. Whether they were good to your spouse, whether they had a good relationship with your spouse or not, you owe them respect. Just the way you respect your parent, you ought to respect your in-laws as well.
Yes.
And let me tell you, no matter what your spouse tells you about their parent, it should never be a yardstick for you to look down on them. Never. So maybe you're just having a conversation with your spouse, say, see what daddy did to me. So at that instant, they might just want to open up to you, but it is never a license for you to disrespect your in-laws. Don't go and fight your spouse.
Your spouse's parents.
Your spouse's parent on behalf of your spouse. No. It never works. Let the boundaries be clear.
Absolutely. Another way to relate with your in-laws is to actually honor them.
Yeah.
Now, honor is actually not just a noun, so to say. It should be a verb. It should be demonstrated. And one of the ways you demonstrate honor is actually through your gifts.
Yeah.
Give to your in-laws.
Yes.
Listen, a man's gifts, the Bible says it makes room for him and brings him before great men.
Yes.
Gifts has a way of placating the hearts of people.
Very true.
It puts you in a good light before people. It's the simple truth. The fact that you have married this beautiful lady, let me use a lady as an example, does not mean that their parents has lost them.
True.
That's just the simple truth. They've been a part of the family before you came into their life. So don't be the reason why they are severed from their own family.
Very true.
One of the ways to show that you are taking care of them is that you actually take care of your in-laws too. That every now and then something should go from you to your in-laws as just a way to honor them for taking care of this your amazing spouse.
Yes.
It is the simple truth.
And your spouse should also encourage you to take care. There are people that would say, you can't send anything to your parents without. You should be the one propelling your spouse to even honor your in-laws. I heard the story of a famous man of God. And I'll before I share the story, let me say this: honor your in-laws the same way you would have honored your parents.
They are actually
because
your parents.
They are your parents.
Yeah.
So there's this man of God, a popular man of God. It said the Lord told him to send a seed of I think about ₦1 million to his in-laws. I don't know if his own parents are still alive. He said God told him to do that, and he acted on the instruction. He said it wasn't come, but he did it. And then a few days later, he was traveling with his wife, his last child, and some of his, team in the car. And a trailer hit them from behind. And that trailer, there was just a box in between them and the impact of the trailer.
Wow.
He could have died. The wife could have died. The child could have died. He said, as soon as the accident happened and God rescued them, he said, the Lord told him, do you know what saved you from this? That act of the obedience. Because the Bible says, honor thy father and your mother. He says, so that your days may be long and that it may be well with you. He said, that seed was a seed of long life. That this accident could have taken your life. And guess what? It was not his parents he sent the seed to. It was the in-laws. So you honor your in-laws the same way you honor your parents.
Yeah.
The Bible is clear. The Bible is the standard of the scripture is the same. If you honor your parent, it says you will live long. You want to live. The secret to long life is honor. And honor your parents.
And honor must be demonstrated.
Through giving.
I honor you, sir.
I celebrate you.
I celebrate you. It has to be demonstrated. And the best way to do it is through
giving.
Give to them. Yeah. Frequent gifts to them. It does a lot. Yeah. They will love you.
Some of you are living in good houses, high-rise buildings, but your parents are still in village, struggling to survive. Yeah. Say, they've given them bride price.
Yeah.
They have nothing to do with them again. Don't do that. You must continue to honor both your parents and your in-laws by giving to them.
Give to them. Buy them generator. Buy them, whatever. You could build a borehole for them. Do that.
Yeah.
If you could do, anything. Go ahead.
Yeah. There are people that say things like, oh, my in-laws are rich. They don't need anything from me. Let me say this. The law of honor does not compromise regardless of the status of your in-law.
Yep.
Whether they are rich people, and what can I give them that they don't have? Bible commands us to honor.
Yep.
So don't say they have it all. They don't need anything from it. They need something. You need something from them.
It's something I realized.
Yeah.
I realized that even people that have want you to understand the principle of giving. So even though they have, they want you to still give to them.
Yes.
Everyone loves to receive. So they may have what you're giving to them, but what you gave to them has a special place because it came from you. More than the gift, the intention is just pleasing to your in-laws. So it's something, whether they have it or not, they have all the suits in the world, still buy them. Yeah. Whether they have all the beautiful dress, do your best. Whether they wear it or not, they would appreciate it.
True.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't go with the mindset of they will reject everything. No, it's not a healthy way to approach. Yeah. First start, do everything, and then if anything goes, then you can move from there. But initially, make sure you honor your in-laws.
Yeah.
Another way to relate to your in-laws is actually to accommodate them, especially when they come around. Yeah. It's okay that they stay in your space. It's temporary anyway. Make sure that they are comfortable around you. Make sure that you are not too rigid to your rules. Some people they have OCD. Everything has to be in a place. Your wife may be used to you. Don't force your old mother-in-law or old father-in-law to want to do it. Please accommodate them while they are there. Make sure they are as comfortable as possible. Yeah. Make sure that they have liberty. Do they like to cook in a certain way? It's okay. Allow them. Accommodation means that you're treating them the way they would have been treated if they were in their own house. Yes. Because they are temporarily in your space. And I'm using the word temporarily. It could be 2 months. It could be 3 months. Just, whenever we're teaching this topic, there's one word that always comes up. Overlook anointing, remember, right?
Yeah.
Learn to overlook some things, especially when they're in your space. But you need to make them know that your house is open.
Yes.
Listen, I know, you talked about how at the beginning, it's something that you need to have a conversation about with your potential spouse and say, are you open to any member of our family living with us? Because there are people that have had bad experiences with people living in their space. People have made a mess of that access that they've been given. Some people have done terrible things have happened in the past. So it's good you have a conversation and say, listen, are you okay with this? Right. If you're okay, can we put a timeline? Say, okay, nobody stays more than 1 month. So that it's not just your parents.
Yeah, the same law
applies for the man's parents as it applies to the woman's parents, as it applies to the man's siblings, because there are certain in-laws, it's true, especially when you're marrying someone who is like the first child or the second child of the family, and then all the younger 6 children are looking up to brother, right? So they're just waiting for brother, that we're going to stay in your house to write exam. We're going to stay in your house. You know that feeling, right? Yeah. So if your spouse is not comfortable, this is the only time then you know that this is a rule. Hey, younger brother or whatever, you only have 1 month to stay in my house. Yeah. This is what not this is what my wife has said. Some people are foolish. They don't know how to
implicate your spouse.
Because now they'll think it's your spouse that is actually making that decision.
Yes.
So this is what we have decided. And it's my decision also that nobody's going to stay more than this. I am a married man. This is what I have decided. Yeah. We're going to stay this amount of time.
I know a couple that they don't allow anybody live with them. Whether it's the husband's parents, or the wife's parents, or the wife's relative, the husband's relative. It was a decision they made at the beginning of marriage. People can visit, but they are not allowed to live.
Wow.
Yeah, but for whatever reasons and experiences they've had in the past and all. And it's like a mutual agreement. Yep. So it's not that I will accommodate my family, but you cannot accommodate your family.
That's when it's wrong.
One law that applies to one should apply to the other. Yeah. So please, it should be a mutual agreement where both of you say, okay, this is the boundaries with which we allow people in our home. There are people that have visited, their in-laws' place and they've slept. They've abused their children, raped, molested. Yeah. So people make radical decisions from here and say, you know what, we're not going to allow any relative, no uncle from anywhere, no cousin. People have been victims, and you don't want your children, innocent children growing up to, be exposed to such. So have a conversation with your spouse. This is how far, even if they come for mugo, this is how far we're going to allow, and it should be mutual. Don't say my mother can come, but your mother cannot come. If both of them have to come at the same time, it's best that you say, no, it is the husband's mother that comes. It is not the wife's mother. That's going to lead to a lot of chaos in your marriage. Just say, Mom, you want to come? You are welcome. Daddy, your mom wants to come. Let us make room. So don't use one law. Don't apply one law to one and then it does not
apply to the other.
It has to be a mutual agreement on both of you. In the next episode, we're going to go deeper into some specific ways to handle your in-laws, especially when they're now in your space, living with you for one reason or the other. There's a way to relate with in-laws because you don't want to. Okay, we'll get to see you in the next episode.
See you.
See you. Bye.